Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachah, Kodash, for giving me the spirit and power to make this lesson. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach the truth and were well. Wabarakatham unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the Brother Gabar, and I'm back with another lesson. And I want to go into how the Most High has lent us. He's lending us these lives, all right, coming down here on the planet Earth. We did not put ourselves here. All right, we can't remember past, a couple of years after birth, all right, of being little kids, maybe toddlers. We can't even remember birth, all right? We don't know, okay? The Most High, all right, He has sent us down here for specific purposes. And if you receive this truth, okay, as an Israelite man receiving this truth and understanding, okay, the Most High has blessed you with talents to multiply in this thing, whatever it may be. You might be a teacher, a minister, okay, a friend, help of the prophets, whatever it might be. All right, the Most High has put us here for specific reasons. Even the 2/3 are here in the land of America specifically. All right, they're here to be cast away, to be burned up, okay? But the understanding in the Lord lending us our spirit, it has to come with a sense of humility, all right, because you understand, dang, none of this is really mine, all right? And then it comes with a sense of obedience as well, because none of this is really yours, all right? So then you inquire on, dang, well, what should I be doing if this is not my life? All right, if I've been lent my life, if I'm borrowing this, all right, and somebody gave it to me, all right, and they gave me instructions, okay, on what I should be doing, then I ought to follow it, all right? That's the type of meekness you should have about you, not, well, YOLO, I'm gonna do what I want to do, whatever, because that's just gonna lead you to the punishment, okay? Because the Lord is giving you something. Imagine you let somebody borrow your car, all right, and you tell them, hey, it got half a tank, when you bring it back, I need half a tank, all right? And you know your car, everything cool, whatever. But then you get your car back, all right, it is right at the E, all right? It got tire marks, you know what I'm saying? They've been doing burnouts, so the tread is low, what I want to say. The tread is real low. You like, what the hell? All right, it looked like the bumper in the back kind of hanging off, all right, like somebody rear-ended them, and then the bumper in the front. So they've been playing bumper carts, all right? They've been doing all kind of stuff, wilding out. The inside smell like smoke, all right? It's cigarette burns on the inside in the chairs and all kind of stuff. Okay, certain stuff is just out of place, broke, all right? And then they lost the key. They bring it back to you. It's a push to start, but the key gone. They're like, damn, I don't know the key yet, But here you go. You let somebody borrow your shit. You let somebody borrow your stuff, and they gave it back to you worse, in a horrible condition. All right, you don't want to be that soul. All right, that you on earth, going to and fro in the earth, going to and from. Okay, and you just doing all this evil, all right, in your body, okay, and the Lord is just gonna destroy you. You don't want to be that person, all right, because your life is not yours. You got to understand that, all right. It's Yahweh Bashim Al Shais. They are the creator. As the creator creates what he wants, all right, whatever vessel he's creating for whatever purpose to fulfill, okay. And as these Israelites that don't repent on the planet Earth, all right, as his word goes out, all right, via the prophets, all right, they're not doing what they were created to do, so they're going to be taken out of the way, okay, which ultimately they are formed to be here, all right, in these latter days, all right, to be on planet Earth. The Lord sent them down here so that they can fulfill prophecy too. It's just on the left-hand side of his will, which is that death by pain, okay, and that's when they gonna know it, all right. But let's get into these precepts, man. Okay, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15 in the GNT. We're going to start at verse 7, as the title of this chapter in the GNT is The Foolishness of Worshiping Clay Idols. All right, and the point is in verse 8, okay. It says, just giving, a little context before we jump into verse 8. It says, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14, verse 7. Wisdom of Solomon 15, verse 7 GMT. A potter works the soft clay, and carefully shapes each object for our use. Some things he makes are put to good use, and some are not. All right, it's the same thing with Yahweh. He's the potter, we're the clay, as the scriptures say. All right, so it's some things he made for good use. Jacob, the elect. Some things he made for bad, all right, which is Esau, and then the wicked of our people, all right, that are joined unto him. So they got to taste that same punishment. It says some things he makes are put to good use, and some are not. But he makes them all from the same clay. All right, going back, all right, it's talking about worshiping clay idols and stuff. It says, but he makes them all from the same clay. All right, so breaking that down. All right, some things are made, you got pots and stuff, whole beautiful flowers. But then the dude is using clay as well to make, using these different earthly things to make earthly elements to make idols, okay, which is wicked. All right, it says, and shapes them in the same manner. Yeah, he's just making them. It's all made from a man. It says the potter himself decides what objects shall be used for what purposes. All right, and Yahweh has decided for us, all right, as Israel, what we should be used for, to be close unto him. Okay. It says, verse 8, here's the point. It says, he is a human being who was himself formed from earth only a short while earlier, right, when you were born. Okay. It says, and after a little while, he must return the soul that was lent to him. And that's the point. All right. But I'm going to continue reading this precept. It says he will go back to the same earth. He is a human being, but he wastes his labor shaping a useless God out of the same clay that he uses to make pots. Right. Useless because it has no life and it has no breath. It can't do anything for anybody. Okay. And this chapter is very good. It goes into it. Okay. But the point is that, as it says, when he must return the soul that was lent to him, right, when you die. Okay. But understanding that it's lent to you. Now going to that word lent. All right. Just on Google definition. It says grant to someone to use the use of something on the understanding that it shall be returned. Right. You got to give it back. All right. That means it's not really yours. It's like you're renting. All right. You renting out something for a couple of years or something. Understanding even in that first payment, although you paying this person and you living in that house, you're living in this body. All right. This body and your soul is both the Lord's. So you living in this house, you renting. All right. Yeah. You call it your home. All right. Yeah. I'm going home. You tell somebody, where you going, man? Oh, I'm going home. Yeah. You going home. But hey, when that lease is up, whose is it? All right. And whose is it? Even though you going home tonight. All right. It's just being borrowed. All right. So in that, you can't, you got to abide by the rules of the landlord, which is Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Okay. All right. You got to have that sense of meekness, man. You got to understand that, or else you're going to be thinking, I'm going to do what I want with my life. It's my life. You can't tell me what to do. You're going to be being prideful. All right. And you're going to spew out a lot of abomination. Okay. Doing whatever you want to do, fulfilling the lust of your flesh, and ultimately going to that punishment. All right. Because that's where you're going to be headed to. All right. Well, that's where you are headed to if you're thinking like that. Okay. Now it says similar words, loan. Okay. Which means lend a sum of money or item of property. This property, our souls, yes, our souls are property of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Okay. It says allow a person or organization the use of a sum of money under an agreement to pay it back later, typically with interest. All right. So you got to pay this back to the Lord, man. We got to go back to him, our spirits. All right. So what you've done in this body, you're going to have to account for. Okay. Now it says contribute or add something, especially a quality to. All right. The Lord has added life unto us. He's given us these souls. All right. And blessed us to come down here. Although, this is hell. All right. But the Lord has blessed us, created us and sent us down here. Okay. He's added this to us. Okay. What if the Lord didn't add anything to you? What would you have? Would you still have your life? No, because it's not yours. It's his. If he took it back, nothing would be here. Okay. As the scriptures say. Similar words on that says supply, grant, offer, right? Bring, donate, give, impart, bestow. Okay. That's all I'm gonna get on that. So we understand that. All right, we're borrowing. Okay, we're borrowing these lives, man, whether you believe it or not. And knowing that it comes with, oh man, okay, damn, so let me do what I'm supposed to be doing with this time. All right. Which is Proverbs 3:6. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Right. If you acknowledge the Lord, show that reverence to him, which is fearing him in all your ways and everything you do. All right, from when you open your eyes to go to sleep at night. Okay. You're acknowledging him. All right, to the best of your ability, he's gonna be with you to direct your paths. All right. Well, whatever you're doing. All right, you at work. All right, you at camp. All right, you making a lesson, you reading. Okay, you studying, you praying. All right, you fasting. Whatever you doing, you at a basketball game. All right, you checking the mail. Okay, you going down the street to grab some food. You making your bed at night, in the morning. You brushing your teeth. All right, you putting gas in the car. Whatever you're doing, the Lord is going to be there with you. Okay, but that's if you acknowledge him. If not, then, hey, you don't got that hedge of protection. Okay, those angels are not encamped around you. He didn't send them to encamp around you. All right, to help you, to deliver you from different things that could be swallowing you up every day. All right, that could make your house fall apart. All right. So now that you know that, you got to walk with a sense of humility, man. All right, and obedience. Okay, because you can't just take somebody's car that you borrowed and do donuts. You can't do that. You can't just go rent a house. All right, and now you renting a house and you like, you know what, I'm finna tear down a couple of these walls, add this over here. I'm about to put up this. I'm about to, change the central AC. All right, I'm about to dig in the front yard. I'm about to make the driveway, way bigger. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do this to the backyard. I'm gonna take down the fence and make it like this. No, man. All right, you just can't do what you want because it's not yours. Okay. You can't do what you want because it's not yours. So acknowledge the Lord. All right, pay him that respect. Okay. This is Sirach chapter 24 and verse 8. It says, so the creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob and thine inheritance in Israel. Okay. Speaking about the Lord and him creating wisdom. Okay. But it says what? It says Sirach 24 and 8. So the creator of all things gave me a commandment, right? We have a commandment as the Lord has created us. Everything he created has a commandment. Okay. All right. And ultimately it's to please him. It's going to profit his will. All right. Of course, no matter what it is, even Esau is. Okay. So knowing that we have a commandment, let's read this. 2 Ezra chapter 7, verse 21. Then I'm also getting GNT. It says, for Yahweh hath given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Right. And what are we supposed to be observing? The fear of the Lord. Okay. The fear of the Lord, man. All right. Now I want to get this in the GNT. Okay. It says, all right, and this is as it says in the KJV, all right, 2 Ezra 7 and 21. All right, what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. That's through the prophets. All right, the Lord Yahweh ain't speaking to you directly like that. All right, to anybody on earth like that. All right, but he is through the prophets. All right, what we should do to avoid punishment. Fear him, believe in Yahweh Shai. All right, repent. Okay, the prophets are preaching that. Okay, that's the mouthpiece of the Lord. Now let's get this in the GNT. It says, 2 Ezra chapter 7, in verse 21 in GNT. It says, Yahweh has given clear commandments to everyone coming into this world, right? Everybody has this commandment, man. All right, us Jakes, okay? It says, telling them through the prophets, right? Telling them what they should do Okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Telling them what they should do to obtain life and to avoid punishment, right? So if you don't want to listen to what the Lord is telling you should do to obtain life, to avoid the second death, the punishment to come, all right, and even, people get judged every morning, man, every day, all day. People getting judged, man, all right? Telling you what you should do to avoid punishment, then guess what? You're just walking into the punishment. I don't want to do that. Can't eat pork. Can't smoke weed. Can't fuck all these women, even if they got husbands, right? Nah, hell no, not God. God wouldn't tell me what to do. This and that crazy shit. Well, they're just going right into punishment. What happened when your parents tell you to do something, all right, and you don't do it? Hey, man, the Father is the Father, okay? He's telling us what to do, and if you don't do it, there's repercussions. There's a punishment. Just like when we broke the covenant, the first covenant. All right, then we got put under the curses. Here we are yet this day in captivity. All right, everything he said that will happen if we don't be obedient, if we don't fear him, all right, if we don't keep this covenant, all right, all of these curses will come upon us. Guess what? They came. All right. So, hey, you don't want to listen. You don't want to do what you should do to obtain life. And that life is life eternal, because that's what wisdom is taking us to, the kingdom. Okay. Eternal life. All right. Given through Yahweh, giving it through Yahweh Shai. All right. Because without Yahweh Shai, we would not have that at all. Okay. But you don't want to do that? Okay. Then punishment just waiting on you. It's just waiting. Okay. Verse 22 in the GNT. But the wicked will not listen. What is Yahweh up there every day from the rising of the sun? Okay, and you see a big head in the sky with a hand and just, please, hey, can you? No, man. He's speaking through the prophets, and they're not listening to the prophets. Verse 22. But the wicked would not listen. Okay, it's the wicked. So they love that wicked shit they doing, the evil deeds. They get off on it, and they know they doing evil. All right, but they don't care. They have pleasure in it. That's what they want to do, right? It says, but the wicked would not listen and refuse to obey him. There you go. All right, to keep that commandment. It says in their foolishness. Okay. Yeah, let's keep reading down a couple verses. It says, verse 23, they had made their own wicked and deceitful plans. They denied the existence of Yahweh Most High and refused to follow his ways. They have rejected his law, refused to accept his promises, disobey his decrees, and failed to do what he commanded. So then what? You're wicked because you're doing what you want to do, not what he want to do, not what he told you to do. All right, so that you can have life, so that you won't be punished, which is a good thing. Okay, but since you're doing what you want to do, now I want to do this, I want to do that. I don't want to be patient, wait on your house. I want to do this. I want to. I want to have it here. Because, of course, the flesh wants to be comfortable. All right. All right. Yahweh Shai, he said, if you will come after me, then you're going to deny yourself. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. And take up your cross every day. Let him deny himself. Take up his cross every day. Okay. Roughly paraphrasing. All right. So if you're not following after Yahweh Shai, you're not denying nothing. You're not denying shit. You're just doing whatever, them demons on you to do. All right, whatever your flesh is pulling at you to do, whatever, anything, man, whatever. You see Jake in the world, okay? They just doing whatever they want to do. Jake be Mose, all right? Jake be, weird, man, all kind of stuff, okay? Dope fiends, whatever, man, all right? So you're wicked. You're doing wickedness. You're exercising yourself in wickedness. So what? So the punishment is just going to come upon you, man, okay? That's what's going to happen. All right. Now let's go to Sirach 2 and 16. All right. The ones that choose. All right. They choose to understand this. All right. Which is the Lord in them, making them choose, just like the other ones is the Lord in them, making them choose that. All right. For both sides of, prophecy to be fulfilled. All right. But the ones that fear the Lord, this is what they're going to be doing. Sirach 2 and 16. They that fear the Lord, right. They understand. All right, the Lord has a punishment waiting. All right, and also, this is the way to life. All right, Yahweh Shai, this is the way. They understand this. All right. So they fear the Lord. They understand this ain't their life. This ain't their system. All right. They were put here. They did not create themselves. Yahweh did. Yahweh Bashim Shai. And they have a commandment to keep. They have a duty to fulfill. They have a law to keep. Of course, to the best of our ability, we're not saved by the law. All right, but there's a obedience measure that you have to meet. It says, they that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, right? And they that love him shall be filled with the law. There you go. Okay. That's what they're going to have in mind. Understanding that this ain't our thing. This is the Lord. Think about it. You didn't ask to be here, man. All right. The Lord created you and sent you down here on earth in this time. That's powerful, man. All of us, even the wicked, even Esau. Okay. And it's to fulfill something. All right, you're not just put here with, you got Jakes just straggling around. You got heathens just straggling around, whatever. But they're fulfilling something. They supposed to be straggling around until a certain time where the Most High, does something to them. All right, if they don't repent, the Jakes. All right. So, hey, you got to fear the Lord. Okay. You got to fear the Lord, knowing that this is his system. He set this up. He created you. He put you here to fulfill something and to keep something. And if you don't, it's just punishment waiting at that door, man. That's all it is punishment, torment. And you don't want that, man. All right. Job 12:10. In whose hand, speaking about the Lord, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing and the breath of all mankind. Okay. The Lord, all right, he's controlling everything, man. All right. Which is beyond scary, man. Okay. Everything. The animals, the bacteria cells, to us, okay, the earth, the whole existence in itself, the universe, everything is being controlled by the Lord. Every way, your ways are directed by the Lord, man. Okay, let me read this again. Job 12:10. And whose hand? All right, it's in his control. It made me think of when something's in somebody's hand, it's in their control. All right, they have it. All right. It says, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing. There you go. Every single soul, every spirit is bending at the will of Yahweh. All right. By Hashem Yahushai. All right. If that don't scare you, I don't know, man. Okay. I don't know. It says, in the breath of all mankind. Right. Every breath you take. All right. The Lord is allowing you, man. All right, it's numbered. It's numbered. He knows the number of the hairs on our head, man. It gets deep with the Lord. Okay. So you don't want to piss him off. All right. And have that punishment waiting by you, not acknowledging. All right. That he done let you borrow your soul to come down here. He done lent it to you. All right. Just like somebody would lend you a car or something to go do something. You want to go over here. Jake trying to take out this girl. Hey, man, I'll borrow your car to, go to the movie, pick up her and go to the movies. Whatever it is, go to the store. All right, whatever. Or renting out a crib. All right. Hey, man, the same rules apply. You got to abide by that person's rules. All right, man. Hey, man, it got this much gas in it. I need that much gas when it get back. All right. And if you don't, then what? It's going to be a punishment. All right. You're going to get scolded. All right. You're going to get rebuked. Okay. It ain't going to be no, it's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? No, man, that's his stuff. All right. So, hey, man, take heed. All right. Take heed, man. Because the Lord, all right, knowing that your soul is in his hand. All right. Your breaths are in his hand. All right. The Lord can do anything to you. And who going to stop? Who gonna stop him? Let me get that. Knowing that you're in his hand, right? You in the hand of the Lord, right? All right. It says Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 13. Yea, before the day was I am he, right? Yahweh. All right. The eternal power. All right. He's always existed. It says, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. You're already in his hand, dude. And you can't be delivered out of it. It's already wraps. It's already wraps. Okay. You just got to be, all right, look, I'm a fear the Lord. All right. It ain't nothing else you can do. If you think, all right, these other people, All right, that's out here. Nah, man. They denying the existence of the Most High. They don't want to believe in the promises. All right, they ain't got no faith anyway. They not believing in the promises, okay, of the Lord. They don't think he gonna come back. All right, they're not being obedient. They don't want to keep the law, all of that. They want to do what they want to do, dwell in their wickedness. They're still in his hand. He's making them do that. Isn't that scary? It's for his will. That's why you got to pray that the Lord don't take the spirit off of you. Every day you got the spirit on you, it's the Lord that still got it on you, man. Okay? Look at Saul. The Lord had the spirit on him, took it off, put it back on, took it off. Man, so the best bet you could do is fear the Lord and continue to find what's pleasing unto him and just pray. That's really all you can do. There is nothing else we can do. There is nothing else we can do. Literally. That's our best bet. I'm going to fear the Lord and I'm going to continue to find what's pleasing unto him. And I'm going to just keep on going down that path. That's really all you can do, man. It ain't nothing else you can do. Okay? It says, I will work, and who shall let it? Right. All right, the Lord gonna work. All right, who gonna let it? Okay, who gonna disannul the plans of the Lord? Okay, who gonna stop the prophecy? Nobody. Who gonna stop that punishment from coming upon somebody? Nobody. Okay, and it's fearful, man. It's fearful, man. So, hey, serve the Lord with fear and trembling. All right, dread it. All right, as in like fear, tremble. Okay, because hey, man, let me grab one more. One more, man. Sirach chapter 1 and verse 8. There is one wise and greatly to be feared. You see that? Greatly to be feared. All right. The Lord sitting upon his throne. Right. Yahweh. All right. Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Okay. That's what you got to focus on. That's your best bet. That's all of our best bets. From the elders, officers, apostles. That's all of our best bet. Fear the Lord. Seek what's well pleasing unto him. Fear him greatly. That's our best bet, and pray he don't take the spirit off. That's really your best. It ain't gonna get no better than that, honestly. What else you gonna do? It ain't nothing you gonna do to really put you permanently in there, all right, unless Yahweh has already worked that, okay? The elect being preordained from the foundation of the world, but the elect don't know exactly, like, oh, I'm the elect, I know for sure. We don't know, okay? That's why, we continue to fight, all right? So, Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, Bashim Chakodash, for giving me the spirit and power to make this lesson. Until next time, Kamar Shalom.